So it's Saturday, January 23rd here in central Newfoundland, and I'm out going on a one-night winter camping trip here. So I got my Pelican sled behind me with a good load on. I got a canvas tent and my wood stove and a pile of gear, and got Molly here, a Labrador Retriever, so she's coming with me for the night. And like I said, it's a beautiful morning here so far. I've been going for about an hour or so now, just following this snowmobile trail, and I'm going to be looking for an area up ahead a couple more kilometers where I can branch off the trail and keep going for another couple of kilometers and look for a spot to set up for the evening. So it's supposed to be a nice day, and it's cold. It's a real cold wind. I think the wind chill this morning is supposed to be minus 18 or so, and tonight is going to be another clear cold night. But we got the wood stove and we got lots of time to get set up and get some wood cut, and we should be good, nice and toasty when we get tent and everything set up later on. So yeah, I'm just going to keep following the trail now and look for a spot to turn off and set up camp for the evening. So I just stopped for a little break here now. Came to this little pond and decided to branch off the trail and follow the edge of this pond. And I think there's another pond back through these trees here, another maybe half kilometer or so. So I'm going to see if I can get back to that next pond, and by then it'll be after lunchtime, I'd say. I've been going for close on 2 hours now. It's close to 6 kilometers, I guess. So by the time I get back there, I'll be looking for a spot to set up camp. So made it into the next little pond here, and the wind's really starting to pick up here now, so I'm just gonna leave the bag and the sled here and probably walk around the perimeter of the pond here. Like I said, I'm gonna stay off the ice as much as I can, just trim along the shore just to be safe, and just gonna go around the pond and look for a nice little sheltered spot to set up the tent. Fresh coyote tracks here. A pretty big track too. Here, Molly, come in. Gotta keep an eye on Molly. Don't want her going out on that ice. If she happened to go through, I'll never be able to get to her. So I'll keep an eye on that for sure. She's gonna sniff those coyote tracks now though. Check those out. What is it? What is it? Usually by now we've got, at least a foot or two of snow on the ground, and when you got a bit of snow to work with, you can pretty much make a spot to set the tent up, because you just basically need to find a clearing big enough for the tent itself, and then you can use your snowshoes, and I got a little shovel there that I usually take with me, and you can kind of just pack down a spot and level a spot off, and that'll work good for the tent. But like I said, this year is it's a different year. Up until 2 days ago we had no snow whatsoever on the ground, so we got a little bit a couple of nights ago, but we only got, I'd say, 2 or 3 inches, just enough to make everything white. So there's really not enough snow down yet to pack down a spot for the tent. So I gotta try to find a spot now that's already half decent level, and try and get the tent set up. So anyways, we'll keep going around the shore of this pond now, and hopefully we'll find something here soon. Well, think this is going to be home for the night. It's not an ideal spot. Not completely level here behind me. I'm going to have to clear a few of these alders away too. But I'm going to try to make it work for the tent. Like I said, it's hard to find a good level spot that's big enough to fit the tent when there's no snow or hardly any snow on the ground. So I'm going to cut a couple of these alders that are hanging over this way, and hopefully I'll be able to set the tent up right here behind me. It's pretty level, but it's not perfect. But anyways, it is what it is. I'm sure I'll make it work for one night. A little bit of dry wood around, dead stuff that I can cut up, and if I don't get enough right around this area, I'll just, once I get the tent up and all the gear taken out of the sled, I'll go back down the pond and look for some dry sticks, dead sticks along the edge of the pond, and bring them back and cut them up. So yeah, gotta go to work here now for a little bit, get the tent up, get everything set up, and then we'll be able to kick back and relax for a bit. Got a couple of beers brought in with me, so looking forward to cracking one of those open when all the work is done here. And we got a feed of moose to cook up on the wood stove later on in the cast iron pan. And I'm going to make some fresh homemade bannock in the cast iron pan as well to go with that. So yeah, should be a good evening here now once we get all set up. So that's it. Time to go to work. Okay, so I finally got the tent up. It's 2 o'clock here now. Haven't had any lunch or anything yet. Pretty hungry, but I had to get the tent figured out. So I'm just going to throw the rest of the gear in now. Probably set the stove up and grab a quick snack for lunch, and then I got to go on the hunt for wood. The pond is just out here behind me, about 50 feet from the tent, so that'll be good for getting water for later on to boil for some coffee. And yeah, we got to go find some dry wood now. Molly's flat out there looking around, exploring camp, trying to get that vest off. She don't like having that on. But anyways, that's what's going on here now. I'll get the rest of the gear put in the tent and grab a snack, and we'll go on the hunt for firewood. Looking forward to getting everything squared away now and getting settled into the tent for the evening. Get the wood stove going, a few tunes on, and a nice cold beer, cook up a feed. So yeah, should be a good evening. First kick back in the tent here now, having a little snack. With some pepperoni, crackers, and cheese. So, I got a nice little pile of wood here now. I think that'll be more than enough to do me for tonight. I don't plan on lighting the stove until pretty well it gets dark, which is going to be around 5:30 today. Yeah, so I usually don't try and keep the stove burning all night when I'm out like this, because this little stove I got is a G stove. This is a beauty little stove, really well made, excellent quality. Molly's trying to sit right on top of me here now. But yeah, it's only a small stove, and it only takes little small chunks. I got to split the wood up real small, and if you're lucky, you might get, I don't know, maybe an hour and 15 minutes out of it before it burns out. So I don't try to stay awake or try and wake up every hour throughout the night and feed the stove. I know some people who do these winter camping trips, they do keep the fire lit all night, but I don't. I tried that the first ever trip that I came out. I tried that, and I basically stayed awake the entire night, because by the time you start to drift off to sleep, it'd be pretty much time to throw more wood in. So I ended up with no sleep that night basically. So what I do now is I bring my big warm sleeping bag, which I got right here, and I curl up in that when I'm ready to go to sleep. I'll fill up the stove right before I'm ready to fall asleep and get down in the sleeping bag. It's rated to -18, I think, Celsius. So I'll get in the sleeping bag and let the stove go out, and I've never been cold in this tent. So, and I've been out some pretty cold nights. So as long as you got the right sleeping gear, you really don't need to stay awake or wake up every hour or so to feed the stove. And Molly here, she got an air mattress just for herself, plus I brought 2 wool blankets, so she's gonna be curled in by me, covered up in wool blankets, and plus I'll probably leave my big heavy jacket close by just in case if we wake up in the middle of the night and she's cold or anything, which I doubt will happen, but I got my big winter jacket that I can throw over top of her too. So that's usually how we do it, and it's usually a pretty comfortable night once you get all geared out down in a nice warm sleeping bag and stuff, and then you don't have to worry about the stove. So that's the plan. What's this? Well, supper time for Molly. Sit. Good girl. Well, it's 5 o'clock here now. Soon be getting dark. Sun has gone down behind the trees over there. Usually dark by 5:30 this time of year. So I got everything set up in here. Kind of dark in there now, but got the sleeping pads and blankets and everything all laid out, and soon be getting ready to light the stove. But first, just gonna go for a little stroll out on the pond again here before it gets dark. So just cracking open the beer now, and gonna go for a little stroll down the pond, pass away the next half hour or so till it gets dark, and then we'll be getting in the tent for the evening. But yeah, what a beautiful evening. Looks like we're gonna see a few stars tonight. The sky is pretty clear. Gonna be a cold one though. These clear nights like this are usually pretty cold. Molly. Beauty. Well, just about dark now, heading back towards camp. But yeah, what a beautiful evening. Just getting the stove going here now. Pretty well pitch dark outside, about 5:30. Molly finally gave in and tucked in behind me here. I'm sure she'll be up on the move again yet, but just having a little rest anyways. So yeah, nice to get this stove going now. It's really after cooling off big time. It won't be long now. The stove gets pumping out some heat. It'll be warmed right up in there. Anyways, we'll check in again now in a bit. What are you doing, Molly? Molly smells the moose. It's not cooking yet, but got it here in the bag, and she sniffed it out. She was asleep and she got up and wandered right over there with her nose going. You'll get a piece when it's cooked. Don't worry. Anyways, it's nice and toasty in here now. It is, oh, it's almost 20 degrees. 20 Celsius just about, and 19 or so. So, I'd say it's about minus 10 outside. It's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be down to about minus 10 with a wind chill minus 16 or something like that. And it is quite windy out. I can hear the wind blowing through the trees out there now. So, but in here, nice and warm. Molly had a big snooze there, but she just woke up and got a drink and sniffed out that moose meat. Come over and lie down. Come on. Come on, and lie down. Good girl. Anyways, just listen to a few tunes here now. Eating the wood stove, and we'll get some supper on the go here shortly. I'll crack open another beer now. I had one earlier. Probably crack into another one here shortly and cook up a feed. Bannock is starting to look good there now. Just flipped it. A little bit charred there on one end, but that's minor. Anyways, that'll soon be done. We're taking that out and throwing the moose in. Oh, got the moose in the pan now. It's cooking nicely. Perfect heat in the stove now for cooking. Molly's up on the go. She smells the moose. She's looking forward to a piece of that. Right, yeah. Anyways, the moose is pretty well done here now. So, I'm going to be having a feed of this here now in a minute. And that's going to be about it for the evening, I'd say. Well, good morning. What are you doing, Molly? Anyways, it's just 8 o'clock here now. So, had a really good night's sleep. Get the stove going here now. Just boiled some water for some coffee. So I went to sleep, I think it was around 11 o'clock, and I'd say the wood stove was gone out by midnight or shortly after. And anyways, it wasn't cold in there at all. Perfectly warm all night. I think I woke up around 4, and Molly got up and was moving around a little bit trying to get comfortable, so that woke me up. So that was around 4, I think, but we went right back to sleep again and slept till 7. So we're just getting on the go here now. I'm gonna have a couple of cups of coffee and cook up. I got some bacon and eggs and a bagel there, so I'm gonna cook that up on the stove. Not in any rush to get out of here, so I'm just gonna relax for the morning and have some breakfast and some coffee, and yeah, and we'll eventually take the tent down and pack up our gear and hike back out there. So it's another nice day out. Nice, looks like it's gonna be a nice sunny morning now when the sun comes up. So yeah, it'll be a nice day to get another hike in and walk back out of here. And yeah, that's about it for now. So we'll check back again here in a bit. Molly was sound asleep until the bacon started frying. She's pretty interested in what's going on here now. Well, breakfast is ready. It's gonna be good. Cheese, bacon, and eggs, and some more bacon on top. Got a few pieces there cooling off for Molly. Good stuff. You want a piece? Alright. Good stuff, isn't it? Good girl. So, everything's out of the tent now. Got the stove all packed up. And all that's left to do now is take the tent down. So I'll be getting out of here now pretty soon. And I got a pile of firewood left over. I think every time I've ever gone out in the canvas tent, I always end up with way too much wood. I just got it stacked up under this big fir tree now, so if I want to come back here again for a night, or even just for a little day trip and have a boil up and have a fire, cook up some food or whatever, I'll have tons of wood there for a fire. Won't have to cut any more wood. So yeah, just gotta get the tent down now, and we'll be on our way.